Our ADHD brains have a real love-hate relationship with structure and routine when it comes to our schedules. And even though many of us ADHDers hate to admit it, we do thrive on the structure and routine that the school year provides us. And then summer comes along and blows up the whole harmonious vibe we've got going. Okay, maybe it wasn't all that harmonious, but it was structured. So summer hits, schedules change, nights are later, routines disappear, and those once-a-year opportunities for fun and frivolity seem to present themselves everywhere we look. But if you're a business owner, there's a very good chance that you cannot just hit the pause button for the summer and expect to pick things right back up where you left off once your kids go back to school in the fall. Which is why I wanted to take some time today to talk a little bit about adaptable scheduling options that allow you to keep up with the unpredictability of summer while maintaining a bit of productivity and momentum. Stay tuned for 3 simple strategies for creating a structure for your summer without being too rigid and, dare I suggest it, maybe even help you find a bit of work-life balance this summer? All of that on today's episode of the ADHD Mompreneur. But before we dive further into today's topic, I'd like to take just a minute to give you a bit of my background in case you're new here. My name is Christy Lingo, and I am an executive function and accountability coach for ADHD mom business owners. I've been working with ADHD populations since 2009 when I started as a professional organizer, and it was those first ADHD clients that led me to my ADHD diagnosis and my son's diagnosis. I help keep my clients humming along during the summer or any time of year by meeting with them each week to determine what they need to work on and when they're going to work on it. Then I follow up with them throughout the week to see what kind of progress they're making. If you'd like to learn more about me and my coaching programs, be sure to visit my website at theadhdmompreneur.com. And while you're there, be sure to pick up your free copy of my essential checklist for ADHD mompreneurs to help you remember all the steps and keep track of where you left off. So be sure to stop by theadhdmompreneur.com today to check out my programs and pick up your free checklists. I know that there are a lot of people out there that say creating work-life balance is a myth or impossible, but I wholeheartedly disagree. I think it's because I see the concept of work-life balance as less of a teeter-totter that you have to balance by getting everything exactly the same weight on both sides, and more of balance as in a bike wheel. If you divide up a wheel into all the slices of all the things that are important to you as a business owner and a mom, and make sure that each one of those slices is regularly getting the attention and time that it needs, your wheel is going to continue to roll. Take away a slice or even just a sliver and you'll have a flat spot and your wheel will no longer roll. Therefore, your balance will be off. The 3 scheduling strategies that I am sharing with you today help to ensure that all those important slices of your wheel are getting the time and attention that they need to help you keep rolling along throughout the summer. Sure, there may be some weeks that your family slice might be a little bit bigger or that you need to spend a little bit more time working than you do with your family. But the important thing is that each and every part of your life that you value or find important is getting some slice of time each week. So let's dive into my 3 simple scheduling strategies, starting with creating a weekly framework. As I talked about in the introduction, us ADHDers do love a bit of structure. It's just we may not always like to implement it ourselves. But when you create a loose framework of when you are and are not available for your week, you're able to create a bit of structure without a whole lot of effort. Start by taking a weekly calendar and filling in any non-negotiable commitments that you've already made. Things like morning swim practice, or meetings with your team, or family movie nights. Starting with this overview of your commitments shows you which days may be a little more full than others. And it's possible that each week your overview or framework is going to change a little bit based on the commitments that you've made. But that's actually what makes this scheduling strategy work so well for those of us who don't necessarily have the same schedule week after week during the summer. Once you've blocked what you must do on your weekly framework, you can see when you have time available for other tasks or projects that are on your work or home to-do lists. I recommend keeping a copy of your schedule someplace where you and your family can reference it regularly. This helps you stay aware of who needs to be where when, and it helps you to see which days you can take an impromptu trip to the zoo or those rainy afternoons when you may want to stay home and create some social media posts. And if you like, once you're done creating a weekly framework overview of your schedule, you can always block specific time for specific tasks. And speaking of time blocking, our second strategy is to time block lightly. I think one of the reasons many of us with ADHD feel a bit of resistance to time blocking is that it feels a little rigid and inflexible. I'm not going to let a stupid calendar tell me what I'm going to be doing between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. But when it comes to making sure that all the slivers in your wheel get the time that they need so that you can stay balanced, lightly blocking out time for specific tasks related to your work, your family, and your household can help to make sure that your wheel keeps rolling along. It differs slightly from the framework because the framework is basically showing you what time you have available based on other commitments you've made. With time blocking, you are going to place blocks within your schedule for specific tasks because you know you want to work on a certain thing at a certain time. It might look like blocking 1 to 2 hours to work early in the mornings before your kids wake up. It might be blocking 12 to 4 on Sunday afternoons because that's family dinner and time together. The nice thing about time blocking is that it can be flexible. You can either simply block out 2 hours to do work, or you can say, I'm going to spend 2 hours writing my next podcast episode on Monday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And with any of these scheduling strategies, it may take a little bit of trial and error for you to figure out exactly how specific or general you would like your schedule to be based on your family's needs and their workflow. And my final scheduling strategy is to set weekly goals and plans, not daily. Weekly planning means that you would figure out what you would like to do for the upcoming week before Monday morning. Ideally, this would happen either on Sunday night or maybe even on Friday afternoon as you are winding down the previous work week. It's almost like a blend of the framework and the time blocking put together. Reviewing your non-negotiable commitments for the upcoming week will help you see when you have time available for other tasks or projects, and then blocking time for those specific tasks or projects means that you won't have to just hope that the time magically appears in order for you to get it done. And as with the other scheduling strategies I've shared with you today, you may just have to play with the idea of weekly planning to see if or what works best for you and your family. Some ADHDers love the idea of waking up in the morning and knowing exactly what they're doing and when they're doing it throughout the day. Some of us prefer to have options when we look at our schedule for the day so that we can continue to move forward but not be locked into any specific tasks. All three of these simple scheduling strategies help you to carve out specific time for specific tasks that will both keep your business humming along while also making sure you don't miss out on making memories with your family. The goal is for you to create a simple summer schedule that helps you to address any of your personal or professional responsibilities. And the great thing with these simple scheduling strategies is that you can try something, and if it isn't working for you, you can add in elements of the other strategies or try something different altogether. Continue to make adjustments or edits as needed to make your scheduling strategy work for you. The scheduling suggestions I've given today are simply a springboard to help you to get started in creating a simple structure to your summer schedule so that you can juggle all the things and projects and tasks and activities without feeling like you're super overwhelmed or like you have to choose between your business and your family. I'd love to know if you have any scheduling or planning tips that you use to help keep your summer humming along as an ADHD mom and business owner. Be sure to share your tips for creating summer work-life balance in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like, follow, or subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes, like next time when we'll talk tips for limiting social media or cell phone distractions when you're trying to work or spend time with your family. We've got to protect those blocks that you've so carefully planned, right? Until next time, keep making your ADHD journey part of your success story. If you're a business owning mom with ADHD, you're going to need to grab my free customizable essential checklists for ADHD mompreneurs by visiting bit.ly/checklists for ADHD mompreneurs or by following the link in the episode description. Do it now before you forget. Until next time,